When you come to college, you actually don't know that what is your actual interest. If you really want to do something, just go for it. You just only have to be really passionate about contributing to open source. It benefited me when I had my interviews at Adobe.
Hi everyone, this is Udit and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special person with me. Actually, I am really impressed by her achievements so far. She has done like so many things in her college days itself. I think I have not done these many things even after leaving the college. So she has done like mentorship. She has done open source contributions. She has done internships at very good places. And if you talk about open source contributions, then she has done open source contributions in like Joomla and all, which are very famous and big projects, right? And if you talk about internships, then she has done good internships in companies like Adobe, which is again a very good company, right? So I just requested her and asked her to maybe share her experience and share her learning so that we all can benefit from what she has gone through. So please welcome Tripti Shukla here, and she's here to share her experience. So hi Tripti, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself?
Hi, Udit. So thank you so much for the introduction. So I am a final year student right now at JP Institute of Information Technology.
Right.
I can I consider myself as a full stack developer who has interest in machine learning, especially in NLP and computer vision and stuff. And I am an open source enthusiast. I love contributing to open source projects. I love contributing to projects that have an impact on the community, and so that I know that I'm making some change somewhere outside. I'm
Right.
affecting someone's lives in some
Right.
way. I'm improving them in some way. I think that's the purpose of the developers at the end. Like, we all have that thing in mind. So that is one thing that keeps motivating me. And yeah, so like I love contributing to different variety of projects. I cannot like define one thing that I actually am have been doing, or am I would say is good at. Like, there are different tech stacks and different types of projects that I've contributed in, and I like love contributing to each one of them separately.
Awesome.
So yeah.
That's really a good thing. So let's start from the beginning of your journey, right? Like, so for example, the first thing that you did, I guess, from your LinkedIn, if I see, you did your internship, or maybe you became a mentor in, Gulf Script, and you started contribution to Joomla. Actually, you did contribution to Joomla. So, like, I can see like you are very passionate about open source and contributing to open source. But when you joined college, right, you might not be having an idea about this open source at all. So, where did you get the first idea about like something like this exists, and maybe you can contribute here, or you can make an impact on the community by contributing here? So what was the first thing where you saw actually you can like something like open source exists?
Yeah. So I think my college played a big part in it, and my college being in NCR played a big part in it.
Right.
So there was already, like, there have been open source societies in, I think most of the colleges have that. So our college also had this culture of open source societies, where there were seniors who were guiding us, like, who were already doing great things in open source and in different aspects, and they were there to guide us and tell us like why you should do that, and how you can start contributing and everything. So I think my first initial experiences started from there itself.
Got it.
I made sure that in my very first semester, I attended all those sessions that were basically started by those societies. So like I made sure that I attended all of them. And from there, I got this idea. Like, I was very impressed by some of my seniors who were already doing so much great in so many organizations.
Right.
Apart from that, like, we were encouraged to attend meetups. Like, there are a lot of communities in NCR that conduct meetups on weekends.
Correct.
If I name some, there is Linux Chicks, there is React Delhi NCR, there is PyData, there's PyDelhi. There are a lot of
Correct.
communities. So these communities actually welcome all kinds of people. The best part about this is that when you go to such a meetup, there are people who are from their college, and there are people who are like experienced, like who are 15 years of, who hold 10-15 years of experience and are still coming to those meetups,
Right.
guiding people, contributing to on projects, collaborating over projects. So I, like in my first year, if I would say, I've attended a lot of meetups. All my weekends were mostly like in some or the other meetups. I would be there doing something, working on some project or networking with people. I made a lot of great contacts through this
Okay.
as well, which actually like helped me, some of my friends at different times, whether it was about getting a referral, or it was about basically discussing about some project, or if I was stuck at some place, I could ask for help from them. So like I think these communities, my college community, these other communities helped me a lot initially.
Got it. So basically, first year people used to consider as rest year, but you utilized it fully, like by attending all the
Yeah.
meetups and all. That's really good. Okay, so basically you had a culture kind of thing in your college, which really helped you I mean,
Yeah.
accelerating in, which actually acted as a catalyst in the beginning, right? Um,
Yeah.
so okay, so how do you, what do you see you, how does it how has it benefited you, like over the past, or maybe, as you said, it, one thing is you got the contacts, you maybe you got the help when you needed, you got the referrals. Anything else as a academics part, or maybe in improving your skills in general, it has helped?
Yeah, a lot actually. Like there have been people who have guided me over different domains as well. Like when you come to a college, you actually don't know that what is your actual interest, what you can actually be good at.
Right.
I mean, there's so many things in development as well. You can pursue cybersecurity, you can pursue machine learning, you can pursue normal development, but like initially you don't know like what you can do. So when you go to such places and you meet so many diverse people around you, there's so many people who are there to guide you. Like there have been people who actually guided me to like pursue penetration testing. Like initially there was this person who was highly experienced and who was already working as a penetration tester in some company, and he actually suggested me a few places and resources from where I can start learning about it and see if I have interest. And if
Right.
I have interest, he actually guided me like how I can actually go ahead in this field and how I can grab a good internship and maybe pursue a career in it.
Right.
So these are the kind of things that happen when you go outside of your circle, outside of your friend circle, and meet different people who have a different skill set and a different range of experience. So that was, yeah, it benefited me a lot.
Got it. Okay, so the next question that I have is, like, let's say maybe you are the lucky one, or maybe the students in your college are the lucky ones who already, I mean, you all guys already have a open source kind of a community in your college. But let's say in my college there was no such community, and there can be other colleges where the people might not
Yeah.
be having those communities, right? Like, what would you think can be a good starting step for them? Like, how can they start contributing to open source? One thing is meetup. Let's say they can start joining
Yeah.
meetups, but specifically to open source, what do you think can be a good step, or how can they start contributing to it?
Okay. So for open source contribution, one step that could be really great is like there are a lot of programs that encourage open source participation, right?
Okay.
Like for example, the biggest one that we know is Google Summer of Code. Like
Right.
a lot of students try to basically pursue that Google Summer. I even tried myself. Like that was a big motivation for me initially as well,
Right.
that getting into Google Summer Code and clearing it, cracking it, it was a big thing. But for someone who couldn't do it in like initially, like when you're in your first year, you don't have much experience and skills to actually, you can crack something that big.
Right.
Like you need proper direction and everything. So for that, there are different other smaller level programs. There is Kharagpur Winter of Code, Girl Script Summer of Code, and similarly there is NJAC is there. Like there are a lot of these kind of programs that are at a smaller level. There is no criteria, no as such huge criteria for like joining these programs. You just only have to be really passionate about contributing to open source, and you should like have this will that you want to contribute to a project. That's it.
Right.
and you can just register for that program. You will be mentored by people who are already experienced, like who at least know that what open source is and who can guide you in your further path. So
Got
I
it.
think these initial programs play a big role. You can join these, anyone can like register for these programs and start contributing, and you will get a direction. Like all you need is a direction that how you can actually contribute to a project. Like it was
Correct.
a very big thing for me as well in my first year. Like I know I want to contribute, I know what GitHub is, what Git is, but which project should I contribute in? Like
Exactly.
am I, yeah, like am I good for this project? Like when I look, then the second thing is, once you know that, like if you know your tech stack, like if I have some basic skills in JavaScript, say like I know the basics of JavaScript, I went through some projects on GitHub, that or some organizations that work on projects that have their tech stack as JavaScript. Then just search for the good first issues. Like good first issues are the, like I think the best way to start contributing in a community.
Right.
Just go through the good first issues and start contributing. Maybe with the documentation, like that is the the starting
Yeah.
point for most of us.
Exactly. So basically, for any project, maybe if it's an open source, or maybe if you are joining some company, I think picking up bugs in the beginning, or maybe the issues, as you said,
Yeah.
that can be a best place to start. Okay. So another thing is like, uh, okay, we can start from bugs, but like some of the people who have asked me in the past, like they have raised this concern. So for example, if I, let's say you contribute to Joomla, right? And Joomla is a like very big source code, and it's like a huge source code in itself. And especially again the projects that you get in, GSOC and all, they are Firefox m- uh,
Yeah.
of sponsors, and there are multiple sponsors over there, and again those sponsors have very big projects. So what do you think, can you just give an example, maybe like what sort of project or single thing that you contribute in an open source, so that someone gets motivation, like, okay, I can also do this, right? Like people really get demotivated. Okay, this is a very big project, I will not be able to contribute into it, right? But let's say if you join Google Summer of Codes, or maybe Joomla, what sort of projects or what sort of tasks you will contribute to, except from bugs? Let's say you ramp up on bugs, then what sort of projects or what sort of things that you have actually contributed to? Let's say, just take one two examples, so that we can understand, what sort of actually
Okay.
contributions are done over there.
So yeah, you can contribute to features actually. Like there are some
Right.
very small features, basic features of a very big organization. Like if I talk about Open Collective, so it is basically a kind of a fundraising organization. It is a very big name actually, Open Collective.
Okay.
Uh, Here you can basically contribute, donate money to different great open source projects.
Okay.
Uh, so in that I think yeah, so they wanted this new UI feature, new UI design feature in their entire like in all their web pages. What it was like a basic button. There was a button change. There was just a button change, and someone has to do that button change in all of their pages.
Got it.
So like this is a very small thing. Like this is a very small feature. You have the design, you know how to you just have to create a component, a button component, and you have to add it in all the pages. Like
Right.
it was a very small thing. So they raised an issue, and it was a bounty actually. It was a
Okay.
paid bounty. So I contributed. I picked that up. I contributed. It took me 2-3 days, and I added that, and I was paid for that contribution as well. So
Got it.
these kind of features are there. Like if you what you all you need to do is observe, observe a project if you want to contribute in it. Like you need to understand the code base. Like that is definitely that is important, but you don't need to pick a very very hard issue that it is a very big feature, and if you don't know about it, you don't need to do that. You can simply pick easy features. There are tags like the easy, medium, hard tags on most of the projects. You can
Okay.
simply pick an easy feature. If you don't know about it, learn about it, and start contributing. I think that thing is pretty simple.
Got it. Got it. And I
Yeah,
think we now have a one more reason to contribute to these projects. We now have bounties also. I just got to know now
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah,
open
yeah.
source projects are sponsoring.
Yeah, like
So
they're paid bounties.
that's happen on Open Collective, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, Open Collective has this program.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Now let's talk about some of your mentorship things, right? You have done mentorships in Gulf Script, and and in React.js, you were also a mentor over there. So what do you think? How did you become a mentor over there? I mean, what led you to mentorship?
Okay, so like once it was already like 2 years. I started mentoring since last year. So like it was already like I worked in my first year, in my second year, and then half of my third year as well. And then I was like, yeah, like right now I know about how to contribute, how I can start, like, and I know what the basic question is always. Like when you start, you always have this question like, I want to, but how can I do that?
Right.
Everyone has that. So I felt like now I'm in a position that I can help someone else, and someone else can benefit from me in that way. So
Right.
that is why I like started mentoring in. So like I firstly mentored in Kharagpur, Winter of Code.
Okay.
After that, like I mentored in Girl Script Summer of Code. So like this is a very recent one. So in that I as well learned a lot of things. So like learning is always the motivation. Like one motivation is always there, that I will learn a lot. And other than that, it's like I have learned from so many other people from this community so much. So like I feel this kind of thing, that responsibility, that yeah, I am also responsible. So like I can also like pass this on to someone else.
Correct.
You know, like freshers come, and a lot of college people also like keep asking these kind of things. So like this is always one motivation as well.
Got it. One interesting question here, which many people have already always asked, like, how do you manage time then? You have done so many things, like, you have academics also, you have to maintain CG also,
Yeah,
you have to go to classes also. I mean, attendance is also there. Then you are going for meetups also. So how did you manage all these things? What do you think should be the good way?
I think I started working from my very first semester as well. I didn't rest after coming to college. So one
Right.
thing is that like once you go into that zone, I think then it becomes a bit difficult to come out of that.
Correct.
So if you're really passionate about something, if you really want to do something, and yeah, like another thing is that I always love what I did. Like it was never like why I'm doing this and I'm getting bored and all. I always liked my work. I always liked contributing to projects and everything. So one thing is that. Then another is, yeah, time management comes there. Like you have your classes and everything, you have to attend your lectures and all, you have to maintain
Right.
your CG as well. So like studies, I think I was fortunate enough to able to manage that thing, I would say.
Okay.
Like it was pretty hard at times. Like I was stressed at a lot of times. Like I was very stressed. I had my projects and everything. I took up an internship during my semester, and I was supposed to meet the deadlines as well. And
Correct.
yeah, so like there were those times, but I think I just kept working hard. I just had this thing that if I keep working hard, keep doing things, at the end I will definitely benefit it from one way or the other. Like I think hard work never gets wasted. In
Right.
whatever way you did, even if you fail at that thing, it will definitely affect something you do in future.
Right.
Like if I share one experience with you about this, last year I applied for Google Summer of Code. I worked really hard for it. It was in Joomla only. I was contributing in Joomla for over an year, and I was pretty sure that I will get this.
Right.
Like all the mentors knew me, my proposal was very strong. And at the end, they selected someone out of the blue. And I
Right.
was very, very disheartened by that. Like all my confidence was so, like it was
Shattered
also,
kind of thing.
like, yeah, like I was very, very, very hurt at that time, because I think it was like all planned for me. I wanted
Right.
to crack it at the end of my, at the end of my second year, so that I'm done with Google Summer of Code. Once I'm in my third year, I know that yeah, I have done this and I can focus on other things now.
Right.
But it didn't go well. I was like in a state of very despair in for like 10 15 days. But after that, I picked up like two projects.
Okay.
I stayed in Delhi in my vacations. I picked up an internship, an in-office internship in Noida only. And there was this another project. Like I thought that during my holidays I can work on two projects. So I was working full time in for an internship, and along with that there was another project, because I liked that project so much that I wanted to be a part of it.
Okay.
So that was also an internship kind of thing, but I picked it up on a side. on a side basis, and I contributed to those two in at that time. Now someone will think like, why do you need to do contribute to two things at a time? Why do you need to take up so much pressure and everything? I like, first of all, yeah, I like contributing and everything, but how did it benefited me? It benefited me when I had my interviews at Adobe.
Right.
It benefited me a lot. I had those things. I had those projects, and I knew that they were great projects. So I discussed about those things, and they benefited a lot in my application.
Right. Right. So
So I think everything works out in that way.
awesome. So basically, you had college, you had one project, and then you have internship also. It was like too much, right? Awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So let's come to Adobe now. So how did you apply to Adobe? Did Adobe come to your campus, or did you apply off
No,
campus?
actually, so Adobe, I don't know if you've heard about it. There's this program by Adobe, Adobe Women in Technology Scholarship.
Okay, I've not heard
This
about
is
it, but yeah.
this Adobe. So this is a like a scholarship program by Adobe. Every year, Adobe kind of awards this to 4 or 5 girls all
Okay.
across India
Okay.
uh, for their achievements in academics, in uh, other achievements, curricular, co-curricular, and everything.
Right.
So I applied for that program last year during this time only, and I would say I was very fortunate enough, and I also had a good profile till then, that I was shortlisted for it.
Okay.
So my first interview call was for this Women in Technology scholarship.
Okay.
Uh, so I got a call, like it is around, I think, October, November. I got my first mail regarding that I have been shortlisted. I've cleared my initial rounds of screening, and I've been called for an interview with someone from Adobe. So
Okay.
like I was very thrilled, and after that, so yeah, I had my first interview for that. So it was like a proper interview. Like after that, yeah, so like that interview like went good for me. After that, again, after 15 days, I got a second mail for another interview
Okay.
with a different person from a different team at Adobe. And both the interviews that were conducted were by professionals who had like 15, 20 years of experience in Adobe itself.
Right.
So like so my second interview was also like it went great. Like I was pretty confident that I've done very good, but I was not sure like if it is an all India thing, and how, like, if I'm that good to win something like that.
Correct.
And I think at the around mid-December, these results came up, and I was one of the 5 girls who won this Adobe Women in Technology scholarship.
Awesome.
So that's how it started. So one of the perks of winning this scholarship is that you are awarded an internship at Adobe India.
Okay.
So I got this internship through that program
Okay.
after all this process. And yeah, so I was basically offered a research internship at Adobe Research.
Okay.
Like according to my profile, I think they offered me
Okay. So let's.
that.
There are a few questions I have in this overall thing. So first question is,
Yeah.
what sort of? I mean, though you said they were normal interviews, but what sort of questions were there? Like, were they data structures focused? Were they OSDBMS? What kind of questions? Or what was the format of the interviews actually?
Okay, so like first in those, so the both the interviews were totally different. First interview was someone from Adobe Research itself, so it was
Okay.
more focused on machine learning and
Okay.
related things. Yeah,
Okay.
and so it was like, yeah, the person asked me, the interviewer asked me questions related to machine learning and all, and then there were questions about my projects, what I have done so far. I was supposed to explain about one project that I'm really, really proud of, like
Right.
something that I have actually done very significant. So I explained one of those projects. Then there were questions about leadership qualities, like have I ever demonstrated any leadership qualities at any of my positions before, and if I have, then how. Then there were questions related to leadership qualities within an organization. Like if I've
Right.
worked for some company as an intern or something, then have I like led a team or something? So there were questions like that. Then there were questions like, yeah, I also have a like very high GPA. So like
Right.
they noticed that thing. So they were like,
I just
how do
cannot
you like?
imagine like how do you manage all these things? Okay, yeah, please continue. Sorry.
So like there were questions like how do we ask like how did I manage to get such a high GPA and also do like so many projects and everything.
All right.
So I think yeah. So like all these questions were there, and yeah. So mostly it was like focused on your all round development. Like if I think I didn't have a profile that was of a competitive programmer, I would say.
Okay.
If I had, then there would have been questions about data structures and algorithms as well.
Got it.
So it is more focused on what kind of a profile you have. You will be questioned accordingly. And if you like, if I say I worked on a project and that had some implementation of some data structure, then that will be discussed there.
Got it.
So it was that kind of an interview.
Got it. And how did you apply for it? Like, was there any link? I mean, was there any link on the site, or did they come to your
So
campus
yeah,
again
like for this scholarship.
for this college?
So
Yeah.
like it is, yeah. So it is like an open event for everyone in India. So like
Okay.
you can directly search for Adobe Women in Technology Scholarship, and
Okay.
you will get the link. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Awesome. So basically, those two interviews happened, and then you joined Adobe this year, or
Yeah.
maybe
So
actually
like
last year, right? Or this
uh,
year?
for this interview, I joined this year only.
You joined this year, right?
Like this
Okay.
summer.
So after that interview, was there anything specific to scholarship, or you just directly joined for the intern now? Did you get my question?
So uh, specific to scholarship, like I
I
didn't
mean,
get
was
your
there any
point.
mentorship in scholarship days? So scholarship is just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
payment
yeah.
of something. You just get some gift from Adobe or that kind of thing, or is there some classes or something from
So
Adobe?
like there are some perks. There is basically this there's some amount that you're paid by Adobe.
Okay.
Then there is this entire reimbursement for this Grace Hopper conference, if you've heard about it,
All
Grace
right.
Hopper India,
GSCI. Right.
GXI. Yeah, so you'll be you like your entire travel expenses will be paid by Adobe. Third is this mentorship. You get a senior mentor from Adobe for
Okay.
your career and everything. You can discuss and everything, like you get a mentor. And fourth is this Adobe internship. So like there's one thing, I had only 2 interviews, but this number of interviews vary with candidate to candidate. I know people who applied for this and who had like 4 or 5 interviews but didn't get the scholarship.
Got it.
So it basically depends on the candidate.
Got it. Got it. But there is nothing like, teaching sessions or something. So, for example, Amazon also has something called ECMS, Amazon
Yeah,
Campus
yeah, 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 yeah,
Mentorship
yeah,
Program,
yeah.
where they actually teach
Yeah.
students. Like Adobe does not have that thing, right?
No. This is not that kind of a mentorship. Like you have a senior mentor. Like during the internship, we get a mentor
Correct.
during the intern, but that is a different thing. I think like
Right.
that is a part of the internship structure. Like everyone gets a mentor. But yeah, so like yeah, it is not like ACMS. ACMS is like yeah, ACMS is a different thing.
Correct. So when you joined Adobe, how did you like Adobe work? And you especially did research work, so it might have been an interesting thing for you. Overall, how was the
Okay,
things?
it was like Adobe has a great work culture actually. Like even virtually, we had so many fun sessions and everything, and the work that we did was like pretty amazing. Like uh, for someone like me who already wants to contribute like contribute in some way for the society and contribute to some way that I know that if I'm working on something, it is going to make some change. It is going to impact something. So if you get a research role wherein you have like a completely new idea on you're working on, and like for me, it was like I worked on something that was not done till now. It was something like completely different. So
Got it.
that was a big motivation for me that I'm working on something that will create an impact. I know that it will be a great thing once it is completed. So
Got it.
that was a great motivation for me. And my mentors, like it is a very great internship program also, because like you get a mentor, like people are basically in teams, and we are provided mentors, senior mentors who help us throughout the internship journey.
Right.
So in that way, it is a great program. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Tripti. I had only these questions for now, and it was nice talking to you. I just want one last thing from you, which is like, if let's say you want to give one advice to all of the students out there, whoever is watching your video, right? What that one advice would be from you? Maybe your mantra which you had followed throughout your life, or maybe something which felt ki if you had followed it this way, then it would have helped you much better in a much better way, right? So, what that one thing would you like to advise?
One thing that I would like to say is that if you're really passionate about something and if you really want to do something, just go for it. Don't listen to people who are around you, or don't listen to people who say that it doesn't matter, or like these things might not work, or like it won't like matter much. Because if you actually believe in something and if you pursue it, it will definitely benefit you someday later in your life. So I think, yeah, that is something that I followed and it worked for me.
Correct, correct. That's a great advice. Uh, Thanks a lot, Tripti, again, and all the best for your future career. Uh, yeah, for just continue doing open source contributions because that's a very interesting thing. Great. Thanks again, Tripti. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Udit. Thank you so much. It was great.